Hey guys, Missy, Debbie, Riri, Laverne. My text is very small. I don't know how to fix that. Let me look. Comments. It's still there. Size. Regular font. There we go. I want a medium font. Did it change it? I don't know. Big font? Oh no, that's for that, I think. No, let's see. Try to change the font in the chat. Well, let's see if that helped, if that did it. Let's see. Scrolling. Terry, Cat. Let's see. Hi, Cat. Said hi to Riri, Joyce, Falcon, Arlene. Happy belated birthday again, Arlene. Arlene's birthday was last week. Belinda, Keeks. Say good morning to everybody. Yeah, it didn't change the font. It says to change the font to medium, but how does it lock in? Didn't lock in. Okay, well, I can't worry about it right now. I'll just have to squint, get my face right up to the screen because the chat is small. Let's see. Tina's coming in saying good morning to everybody. Hope everybody, hi Belinda. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hubster's home. Hi Janet. He went to LA last week for about 5 days and he came back yesterday. Samantha did come down Saturday night, spent the night Saturday night and part of Sunday with me to hang out. We went shopping and did some stuff, went to the bookstore. So we hung out together. And so Hubster's going to come in and chat a little bit, talk about what he did, where he went, you know. So yeah, he'll be here. Hi, Christina. Let's see. Hard House. Mary too, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Let's see what else. Scrolling. Just trying to catch everybody. And again, my chat is small, even though I put it on medium. It didn't change it. So I don't know. There's Tina saying good morning to some more people. Did I miss anybody so far? Hi, CB. So yeah, Hubster got home yesterday and had Samantha, like I said, I had Samantha Saturday and Carta Sunday. Got my lemon water. And yeah, I'm going to make, if y'all remember, I got these out to show my big journals here. Well, I'm going to make a bee journal. I already cut down some, poster board and got all the stuff out. It's a hot mess on my desk. This is all the space I have. Oh my gosh. But I think it'll be fun to do a bee journal. I mean, I've done, well, let me go grab my bee discs just to show those. Hang on. Whatever you want, honey. Okay, so y'all seen my bead disc before. We just made these kind of recently using the Collage soup books. This one, and then I've made these previously, these two smaller ones. These are 10-inch discs, and these are 14-inch. So y'all seen those. So we're going to kind of do a giant. Can you just set those over on that chair, honey? I have no space behind me. Thank you. You want to squeeze in so you can see chat, or just let's see. There we go. Chat's real small today. I don't know why. I tried to make it bigger, but it's not working.
Okay.
So, Anyway, so we're going to use the bee book and the flower book, and we're going to make a giant poster journal. So I got a whole bunch of stuff out. I got Happy Mail to show. We have to do our prompts. We have to do our reading. And but I thought just Hubster's in here already. So go ahead and let him talk about his trip and what he did. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me get this back here.
Okay, I'm hanging.
I got gifts from Hubster, and I'll try to show little things as he talks. All right. All right, go ahead, honey. Talk about your trip. Talk about where you went, and I'll try to organize over here to the side.
Good.
Can you read that? Can you see chat? You might have to scunch.
I can a little bit. I got my glasses, but yeah, no problem. Okay. Now, I got to be out of here by 9 o'clock. My manicure appointment's at 9.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see everyone. And
don't be so formal.
I'll take a couple of minutes to tell you a little bit about my trip to Los Angeles. It was great. Had a delightful time. Went out to see my daughter and my grandson and my son-in-law. And they were so much fun. They're great host and hostess. Always enjoy going out there. So I left early Wednesday morning, flew straight to Los Angeles. My daughter picked me up, and we went straight over to Warner Brothers, the movie studio. And I like to go to the gift shop because they got a fantastic gift shop. If you ever get the opportunity to go to Warner Brothers, make sure you check out their gift shop because they got great gifts. I'm old Hollywood. I like old Hollywood, the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. And they do have some gifts that go back to that time. So really, really enjoyed that. So we left Warner Brothers and we actually went straight to her house. And then, but on the way, we picked up In-N-Out Burgers, I believe.
Can y'all hear them okay? Let me ask if they can hear you okay, because the microphone's halfway across the room. Let me know if y'all can or cannot hear him. Go ahead, honey.
So we went to my daughter's house, dropped everything off, and then we went and picked up my grandson at school, and we went down to the campus at UCLA, which is about 30 minutes from their house.
Because he's thinking about going there.
And smart little boy. He makes straight A's. He's very athletic. Plays. He's part of he does jujitsu and wrestling and
part of the wrestling team. I've shown them pictures of the wrestling.
Yeah, very lean, very very lean. And so we picked him up, went over there and spent a couple hours at the UCLA campus. Beautiful campus. But like I said, about 30 minutes from where my daughter lives. And once we left there, we went to a place called Italy, which is an Italian food store, restaurant, gift shop. And it's just great. So 3 or 4 stories worth of food. And they got fresh cheese. They got fresh pasta. They got everything you could possibly think
of. And Annie's a foodie. So, yeah.
Excuse me. Who's telling the story?
Well, you didn't. Were you going to say Annie's a foodie?
I was going to say that, but you interrupted me. All right. And Annie's a foodie. All right. So after we had dinner, actually at Italy, we had to go back to our parking lot, which was a couple of miles down the street. So my little grandson, who the week before had been down in Hollywood to receive an award for one of the little videos he does for his school.
I did get a picture of that. Go ahead.
He had taken a Waymo, and a Waymo is a driverless car. And so I didn't know they were going to do that. Well, this driverless car comes riding up white. It's got little robot antenna things on 2 headlights in the front and a big robot-looking antenna on top of the car. And so they said, you sit in the front. Well, I didn't know it was a driverless car. so I got in the front seat and I looked. Of course, they're in the back giggling. So it takes off. And I got to tell you, if you get the opportunity to drive in a Waymo driverless vehicle, take advantage of it. It's a lot of fun. So he drove around for about 5 or 10 minutes, got us back to our parking lot, and then we left. Then the next morning was Thursday. We got up. Annie fixed a nice breakfast. What did we do?
I don't know. I lost track of your schedule.
We took Logan to school. I got me an LA Times newspaper, and then we came back and waited. And then about 11:30, we went to the movies to see Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling, which is a pretty
There's
good picture.
Logan at UCLA.
Yeah, he's looking across one of the practice fields. And so we went to see Project Hail Mary, which was a pretty good picture, sort of a combination of Interstellar and E.T. And so we came back. I don't mean to spoil it if none of you seen it yet.
Well, then don't give spoilers.
Oh, I'm going to. I'm going to spoil it right now. And just kidding. And so we came back and we got ready, and we had dinner reservations at a place called the Magic Castle.
You got a thing there. Okay.
Yeah, the Magic Castle is an old house that was built in 1923 in West Hollywood, and
it's got all these different rooms.
It's got all these different rooms, and we went into the dining facility. There were Rolls Royces there were BMWs, there were Mercedes, Aston Martins, everything you can think of, and we had valet parking. We went in there, and we had a great dinner. I had a slow roasted prime rib with the potatoes.
Oh my gosh, bud.
But they had a very strict dress code. Very strict dress code. The ladies had to wear what's funny?
Nothing. You're just funny. Here's Hubster and Annie. There's Hubster and Annie at the Magic.
Come on, look how red my face.
Well, it's the. Let me see if I can. I can't.
No,
fix,
you don't have to worry about it.
I can't fix the.
They know I'm not beat red like that.
Yeah, I know.
So tomato red. But anyway, we had a great dinner, and we took in 3 different shows. And it was terrific. But anyway, they had a very strict dress code. You're supposed to wear a suit.
Well, that's
not a sport coat. But the women are supposed to wear either pantsuits with very nice
oh my
blouses.
gosh, you're just going into every detail, honey.
And well, I'll try to hurry it up.
We don't have to hurry up, but you don't need to. Okay, go ahead.
And or formal dresses. And so anyway, a couple of parties came in. They're 20 or 25. A group of 20 or 25.
There's Annie and Dan.
Yeah, great picture of Annie and Dan.
Uh-huh.
And some of the guys were wearing sport coats. And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I almost wanted to go complain to the manager, like, hey.
I dressed up for this. No, that's all right.
Yeah. And so anyway, after our dinner, we went home, had a great time, and then we wake up. It's Friday, and then I forget what we did on Friday.
You're so funny.
What did we do on Friday?
I don't know. I can't remember what you did on what days. I'm just trying to show some pictures.
Yeah. So anyway, I can't remember what we did on Friday. We probably just hung around the house. And then Saturday, we went down to Chinatown in Los Angeles. I got my wife a couple of gifts, which I think she'll probably get a kick out of. And Saturday evening.
When did y'all go to the Ronald Reagan Library?
Oh, that's what we did on Friday. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, on Friday, when Logan got out of school, we went up to the Ronald Reagan Library. And
there's the plane.
Yeah,
I know there's a glare.
Ever get the opportunity to go to Los Angeles, make sure you go to Simi Valley and check out the Ronald Reagan Library. It is absolutely fabulous. You just wouldn't. What an amazing, and I don't mean to get political for those of you who don't like it, but what an amazing man that President Reagan was. Just a remarkable individual.
And then they had a Western exhibit.
Excuse me.
All right, I'm trying to show pictures with you.
And then according to my wife, they had a Western exhibit, which they did. They had an old Hollywood Western exhibit. They had chuck wagons. They had a lot of the old clothes and revolvers and rifles and pistols. There's a picture of the chuck wagon. It was great stuff. There were old clothes in there from Tom Selleck, from Clint Eastwood. He had his clothes in there from Unforgiven, as well as his clothes from Pale Rider.
I'm trying to find the pictures, but go ahead.
If you're familiar with who Clint Eastwood is, Pale Rider and the outlaw Josie Wales, and it was great to see the actual clothes that he wore in those pictures.
Here we go. Here's some pictures of the clothes. I don't know which one's the.
Okay, that's from. I believe that's from Pale Rider. Yeah, I think that's from Pale Rider.
I'm trying to get out from the glare.
Yeah, no, that looks good. That's from Pale Rider. Good Western. The next one.
Hang on, I gotta click.
I'm hanging.
Go keep talking because I've got to go back and find them.
All right, the next one, well, she'll show you a couple more. So then we went out into the Reagan Library because they were hosting the Western Old Hollywood Adventure. By the way, the actor Kurt Russell had a couple of really nice videos that he had made talking about the movie Tombstone, his role as Wyatt Earp, if you know who he is, and a great picture. He talked about that, some of the behind the scenes, and then he had another video where he talked about his friendship with President Reagan, he and Goldie Hawn. Just great stuff. Really enjoyed that. And got a picture there we got a picture of us going on to Air Force One. They have his old Air Force One and Marine One there. And that's us behind the Oval Office and the desk that I think the President Reagan used. Great stuff. And then so we finished up the tour there, and I went out and had to salute my president.
Aw.
Because they're both
upstairs, retired Army.
Yeah,
so.
and they're both buried there, both Nancy and President Reagan. And it was just great. So we went home, and then the next day is when we went to Chinatown. We came back, and Annie made a really nice filet with broccolini, I think she said, and mashed potatoes.
Did y'all go here, or is that just a schedule?
That's just a schedule.
Because y'all went there, y'all went to the Hollywood Bowl and saw Phil Collins. Or no, not
John Williams.
John Williams, yeah, John Williams.
And then had a real nice dinner Saturday evening. One of the Logans, my grandson, one of his little girlfriends came over. It was delightful to meet her. Her name was...
no, don't do that. Don't, yeah.
But anyway, we had a delightful time, and excuse me. But anyway, we had a delightful time.
And I got a little video here of Logan getting his award for the videos I show y'all all the time.
Yeah, that's when he went down to Hollywood, I think.
Hollywood, superstar. Think levels. Give me some level change.
That's Logan right there. Y'all know on his videos that he makes for the PSAs for school. Can't get rid of the camera glare.
Yeah, that was good.
Serious pose. Like,
So they got awards for their PSA videos. So yeah.
And Tina Tomsky, you're welcome. I love being in the military. It was a privilege and a pleasure. So anyway, after we had dinner, visited with my family for a little bit more, and we could usually go wide open when I go out there.
Yeah, y'all just do so much stuff.
Yeah, and we try not to, but it just happens that way. I mean, actually, we do try to do that.
And when I listen to him, this is how I feel.
Very funny. No, when she listens to me, she calls me, when are you coming back? Can't you get an earlier flight? God. And, no, just kidding. She's very supportive. She is glad that I have good times. And then so got up early Sunday morning. My daughter and grandson took me to the airport.
And
came back yesterday. And,
there's a picture of Logan hanging out in the house.
Yeah, that was pretty tired yesterday when I got home because we went wide open and but thoroughly enjoyed it. Great trip. And
here's Annie and Dan and little dog in her kitchen.
Yeah.
That's her foodie kitchen, huh?
Yeah, she is a great cook. Oh, he needs a vacation from. Yeah. Well, I took off a couple of days.
Yeah, so that's why he's here today talking.
Yeah. But I do have a couple errands I got to go run. My manicure. Should I get a pedicure?
No.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. So, and when we were in the Magic Castle, I told you they had a very strict dress code.
Oh my gosh.
And there were a couple of guys there that weren't wearing socks.
Wearing socks. I was going to say, you already told us that they didn't have on.
Oh, and of course, my grandson, he said there was no kids. You couldn't take children there.
You had to be 18 to go in.
Yeah, you had to be 18 to go. Anyway, the magic shows were great. The first one we went to was a guy that was really practicing to get accepted. And his name was the K.
Look what Tina just sent. Wait. Tina, good one. Look,
Yeah.
See the little kid on there?
Yeah, that's clever. Very cute. Very
Good
cute,
one, Tina.
And then and then the second, and they always call for volunteers to come up on the stage. Of course, Andy went up on the first one. She did great. On the second one, his name was Magic Mike. He was really intense. But we thoroughly enjoyed his show. And then the last guy we went to see was a Venezuelan guy. And they were all terrific. Really, definitely worth the money. And it was great to see all the ladies dressed up, to their, as much as they can. See the guys. There were a couple of guys wearing tails,
and then some that were wearing no socks.
And some that were, I couldn't believe it. I started to go get a hold of them. And go, what is this? But anyway.
You're funny, honey.
And then, of course, when I got home, my wife flew out the front door, ran out of the driveway, and jumped in my arms, said, "You're back, you're back."
No, that was Malibu.
Oh, yeah. Malibu the cat.
They know who Malibu is.
So, but anyway, it's good to be back, and I miss my wife. She's,
Okay, well, you don't have to get into any of that.
well, God. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for my wife is shoving me towards the door, trying to get me out of here. So, anyway, thanks for allowing me to share a couple of minutes with you on my very nice vacation, and hopefully we'll talk again.
Okay, honey. Thanks for all the updates and all the. And I love this picture. We'll have to get the frame or something for that.
With the regular thing?
Yeah.
All right, I got to go run a couple of.
Okay, well, we'll see you later. Have a good time.
Well,
We'll check back in. See you in a little bit.
Oh my gosh, when you were laughing, I could see your uvula.
Oh my gosh. Here, take this chair. Oh, you're so funny. And don't let the cats in. There's too much stuff on the table for Malibu to come up. You have no space for Malibu today. Well, yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for yeah. He's looking at me. Let me scroll back. Tino, I was exhausted listening to him. Hi, Shelly. And let's see, Deb E. Who else am I missing? Barbara's back. Welcome back, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society. We've been wondering if you were going to come back mid-April, so it's good to see you. Sorry, guys. Shelly, I said hi to CB, Mama 4, Annette. I'm scrolling back and seeing who I missed because I wasn't reading chat while he was talking there. Pamela, B, Keeks, Belinda, Elizabeth, Christina. Thanks everybody for being here. He had a good time. Hi, Asa. Let's see. Scrolling. So I think I got it. If I missed you, I don't mean to. KD, Terry Brett. We're going to do prompts here in a minute. Hi, Dot. And my chat, I can't figure out how to make it bigger. It's the text. And I clicked the larger text, but it didn't change it. So I don't know. So I can't worry about it in midstream. Okay, so let me show you what he brought me back here. And then I got some happy mail. And let's move this out of the way. I got piles of stuff here. All right. So we're gonna do a bee's knees, a bee journal, like these, my big giant journals. I'll show these again here in a minute. Let me show you what he brought me back. And then we'll, so they go to this Paper Plant Co. all the time. And so Annie goes down to Chinatown. I don't know if there's anything in this. Is this just a bag? I think this is just a little bag that the washi tape was in. So, and get me cool stuff. Bring me back cool stuff. He brings back everybody else t-shirts and bags and coffee mugs. Oh no, I want this. This is, get me this while you're out in LA. Dee Dee, on your piece, on Tina in StreamYard. The StreamYard chat is small. And I clicked the larger one and it didn't change it. So I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Yes, just in the StreamYard chat, the sidebar. Yeah, it's small. Let's see, which is what I'm trying to read off of, right? So they brought me back some papers. I got this one. This is their regular tissue paper. And then I got these papers here. I thought these were fun. These will be fun to play with. This one and this vellum-y one, that's little ink wells. And look, there's one little one that's got a little ink in there. So they got me that. And the bags, of course, are very cool. I have no place to set this stuff. I just go on the floor, I guess. No table space at all in here. Okay, so let's go here. And they got me all kinds of little, this is the This is the store and where it is. I know it's not going to focus. It's too, but yeah. And let's see. I haven't opened all of it yet, Janet. Hi, Ellen. So this is just some little cards. Like, you can write your own business card signature, whatever. It's just for whatever. And I got a couple of tapes. Okay, what's Tina saying now? You can enlarge the entire screen. Yeah, I don't want the entire screen, Tina. I just want my chat. The screen is fine. I got my sidebars, my lower stuff down there, my links, my clickables, and my big screen. This is fine. It's the sidebar chat, just the chat. Yeah, I don't want to enlarge the screen. The screen is fine. It's just the stream. It's the StreamYard chat. Yeah. Okay. So I got this little, but thank you, Tina. I know you're trying. I don't want to mess with it too much. I'll lose, you know how that goes. And so this, it's got a kind of a wavy edge on it. Let's see if I can grab the edge here, open it up. So it's like crinkly. I mean, it's like a torn edge. See how it looks like a torn edge? So maybe I'll use this in my bee journal. That might work in the bee journal. Okay, then this one. Let's open this one. Get the scissors here. I'm going to peel off the label. Okay, and this one, got a feel for the edge. Where is it? There it is. I try to grab the whole thing. There we go. It's like, just like some faux advertising or something. Oh, hang on. It's going to keep clicking until I answer. Until I click on it. Okay. So I got those washi tapes. And then, let's see. I got to put this stuff. These stickers here that look like they're books. Like open book stickers. That'll be fun. This is a postcard from Chinatown, Los Angeles, Chinatown. So this will go in my daily journal, my big thick one. All right, let's see here, Janet. Janet's always teasing me about I don't open things until stream. All right, let's see. All right, so this has got a little belly band on it. And they're papers with cats. Hang on, there we go. Let's see how I can open this up here. So cute. Look at this. They're like, it's like a textury, like a napkin-y feel paper. Look at that. Isn't that cute? There's a lot of them. I'll have to put some of these in a giveaway. Well, I'm sure, let's be honest, Annie probably picked out most of this. Annie, I'm sure, picked out most of this. Okay, here's a little card. It's a little postcard from the Paper Plant Co. label there. Then here's some, let's see. Oh, there's some different little papers here. Look, they have different. Let's go this way with it. Yeah, then they start repeating. But it's all nice paper. It's all nice paper. Here's some foodie stickers. Well, I do too, Angie, but I wanted to do it on stream. I could have opened all this up before I showed it to y'all and just showed y'all a bunch of, I could have done that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, Tina. Cat's adorable. Let's see. Zinjin just shows how smart Hubster is to let Annie do the picking. Yeah. All right. So this is like a faux, like a little faux stamp and station. It's just got like little design on it, but it's the paper is just so a lot of it's very thin. If you've ever had the what's that Travelers the that thin paper one, the Hobonichi, it's like Hobonichi paper. Okay, then here's some stationery. Let me try to find the edge here. Some kind of stationery with pie, pizza, sushi combo. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Tina? Some envelopes. Let's get this out here. So it's a little stationery set. Here's the little letter set with the little purple envelopes. And the paper quality is just good. It's got a little embossing on there. And then here's some of the, let's see, it's just got a card in there. We keep those. We keep the little cards because we cut those up and stuff. But it looks like, what does it say there? Fruit tart. Fruit tart is what it says at the top. Oh, there we go. Fruit tart. And you fold them up in half and you got your little letters. So, yeah, you got your little stationery set. Okay, I think I've shown everything here. I think I got everything. And I don't want to keep that up for the bees. Let's do that. All right. What else? I'm looking around. What's next to show? Okay, then I got some happy mail from Xandra. And we're going to do our prompts and everything here in a minute. I just had to let Hubster talk about his trip, guys. So Xandra sent a few things. So it came in a big box. And this is Xandra's, her tape, and that's her drawing, her painting of her version of Frida. And she had tape made. She used to have a shop. Well, I guess she kind of technically still has a shop, but she doesn't have it open anymore, I don't think. But that's the tape that she used on her shop. And so look, guys, we'll do some giveaways. Got some pretty napkins because y'all know I ain't keeping all these. So we're going to give some napkins away. She sent me a nice little note, a nice little card, and this little Post-it note set. So sweet, Xandra. So sweet. I'm going to leave these handy so that I can do a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway with these. Let's see where I can put everything. And and then we'll give away some of the little cats too. Let's see. Let's put that there. All right. Okay, then she sent a couple other things. She sent me a Ticonderoga black wing. I love me some Ticonderoga pencil, so she sent that. She sent I'm saving the best for last. She sent me some cigar label stickers, streamer things. Our journals, people. But here's the best thing that she sent me. Oh, wait for it. It's going to be my close pin or paintbrush holder. She sent me a Poe head with a sticker on it. It's got a sticker on his head. It looks like a scar, but it's like a fish sticker. But look at that. She sent me a Poe. And y'all know I love me some Poe. I love. I made a Poe journal a few years ago. So, isn't that great? Hi, Tori. Anybody else I miss coming in? I'm telling you, I got to figure out. No, I think it's supposed to be Poe. I'm pretty sure it's Poe. Yeah. Let's see. Look, I know, right, Laverne? Hi, Rainbow. Uh, so yeah, so thank you, Sandra. I just think he's awesome, right? So there's my new Poe head. Okay, so let's see what else do I have around here. Oh, and then when Hubster went to the Warner Brothers studio store, he always goes there. He likes their hats, or he likes everything about Warner Brothers. But anyway, y'all know that every time he goes, he always asks, "Can I have some extra tissue paper?" So he got me some extra tissue paper from Warner Brothers. So we'll do. I'll put a sheet of this in the giveaways too, because there's tons of it. Look, it's how to draw Bugs Bunny. This is Warner Brothers tissue paper. Right? Is that light? That's it just seems so. Let me move this back a little. Fussy here a little bit. There we go. It was just a little. And these lights here, maybe I need to move that back. Philly farting around here. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and there we go. So I'll put some of this in. I'll put some of this in the giveaways. I know. I just love it. It's just so because it's how to draw Bugs Bunny. Look, you know, isn't that cool? So he got me a wad of that, and all right. So we'll put that there. Let's see what else. Oh, and then the mugs came wrapped in this. And I thought this might be good to use in the bee journal because it kind of has a honeycomb effect look. And so it kind of looks like a, honeycomb. So I thought maybe we could paint on that and use some of this paper in the journal. So I'm going to keep that handy. Okay. Then I got a book when Samantha and I went to the store, but I'll show that in a minute. So let's go ahead and do our prompts and read out of our book of unusual knowledge real quick. Let's see. I know I'm missing people. Hi, April. I'll have to figure out why my chat is so small. Lynn. Let's see. That's Lynn. You think he's creepy, Dot? Oh my gosh. All right. So let's see. Lisa. Who else am I missing? I said I had a Missy. Shelly. I'm trying not to miss anybody, but I probably did while Hubster was telling all his LA stories. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the prompts here. And especially, for Terry, y'all continue to keep Terry in your prayers, Raul in your prayers, and then Sammy, our coloring Sammy. If y'all don't follow her on, if y'all don't know her from way back when she was she's an excellent, amazing colorist. And then she and her family, they had a baby, and they just had another baby, and it was in ICU for a few days. Well, she got to take her home. So, we're all thankful for that. So, congratulations, Sammy, on that. Okay, so here we go. Let's get a little stack here. Get a little stack and get me a Post-it note. Let's see. Here we go. All right. All right. So we'll have today is the 20th. Can you believe it already? Oh, April's just almost gone. All right. Put it in caps, guys, if you're talking to me. Yes, it is. It's nice too, Tina, this paper. Let's see. All right, so here we go. Let's pick 5 prompts. A blank, that's just like so you can fill your own, but we're not going to do that. Okay. Amazed, eye, any candy, almond, and pine tree. So there's our 5. Amazed, eye, almond, any candy, and at least write them down on a Post-it note to put in your Society of Idea Collector notebook so you have them. That's how I keep up with them. I keep them. I stick these Post-it notes in there. All right, pine tree, and then I have them with the date on them. So like that. And then if you want to do something with them, of course, do something with them. I know, right, Tina? We just might as well leave the Christmas tree up. Okay. All right, then we're going to read out of this, but first, yeah, let's do that next. All right, and I have not picked anything, so let's just go back here where I was doing some. There was some stuff here. Meet the Real Chef Boyardee. That looks good. All right, let's read that. Meet the Real Chef Boyardee. And so this big, thick book came from Laverne, and it was published about 10 years ago. So some stats could be different, numbers, stats, they could be different from 10 years ago. But it's just interesting, the history of some of these things. Dee Dee, go to the, oh, check. Okay, well, I'm glad you got through the doctor and through the thing there, Angie, and that you're back. Take care of yourself now and completely heal up. Terry said, I need a bit of thought. Oh, yeah, it's going to need a bit of thought. Right, Terry. Okay, here we go. American consumers see a lot of familiar faces on store shelves when they go shopping. Among the most famous is the mustachioed Chef Boyardee. Well, maybe not so much anymore, but it was a big thing. If you grew up, eating soups, Campbell's soups and Chef Boyardee spaghettis and stuff. The king of canned pasta. Many people assume he's just another fictitious corporate spokesperson, but in fact, he was a real person. Is this like Colonel Sanders? Must be the mustache. Born in Piacenza, Italy in 1897, Ettore Boiardi demonstrated a talent for cooking at an early age. He immigrated to the United States at 16, took the name Hector, and proved his culinary prowess by working in the kitchens of several well-known restaurants, including the Plaza and the Ritz-Carlton hotels in New York City and the Greenbrier in West Virginia, where it was said that he catered Woodrow Wilson's second wedding. He was often the kitchen's youngest chef, so he grew his trademark mustache to make himself appear older. From the kitchen to the grocery store. At 24, Chef Boyardee, well, it was different spelling back at age 24. Moved with his family to Cleveland, where he worked at the Hotel Wyndham. A few years later, he opened his own restaurant to rave reviews. Customers adored his spaghetti, and by popular demand, he started selling his homemade sauce in takeout containers. The sale of his pasta sauces eventually exceeded his restaurant's business. So in 1936, he'd grown tired of explaining the pronunciation of his last name and started packaging foods under Chef Boyardee label. In 1946, he sold the operation to American Home Foods for $6 million. Today, the Chef Boyardee brand is owned by Conagra, which continues to put his face on the pasta products, including a spaghetti and meatball, ravioli, and lasagna. He died on June 21st, 1985, but his legacy lives on in the millions of cans of heat and serve pasta sold each year in stores all over the world. So that is out of our book of unusual knowledge of Chef Boyardee. That was kind of interesting. I love those things. I love trivia like that. Okay, then when Samantha and I went to the bookstore, I got this new sticker book. Let's see, do I need to move in? Well, I probably will have to back out when I show the big journals, but let's see. No, it was a different spelling, Tina. Oh, I mean, that's what they said in the story, that his name was spelled differently. Yeah. Let's see. Put it in caps, guys, if you're talking to me, especially today, since my chat is tiny. Okay, so I got this Sticker Emporium Aquatopia book, and I have other Sticker Emporium. Oh, let me get a sip of lemon water here. Other sticker Emporium books, and this one is very cool. And Samantha's already rated the book, so she's already taken quite a few books out of it. I mean, stickers out of it. But let me just kind of do a flip. The back, maybe this much is paper. Okay, this much back here is just papers, different papers. So let me do a flip of the papers here, so you can kind of see. So these are all papers. It's a little flashed out. Let me turn down the brightness. Let's turn down the brightness just a little. There we go. So they have papers here in the back. And I didn't catch all of them, but you see. And then here's some more papers right there. And then here's the stickers. I'm just going to kind of do a quick flip so you can kind of see them. It's all aqua. Sea and seabirds and mermaids and shells, ships, kind of vintagey looking. And of course, the back papers are all different. So after you use the sticker sheet, you could use the paper backing. And if you see missing places, then you know, like a sea turtle is missing here. Pirates. But the back papers are really pretty too. You still eat Chef Boyardee, Angie? Let's see. And Debbie says she still eats ravioli sometimes. So the papers, the backing papers are, there was an octopus right there. So I cut that off for her friend so she could take it to her friend. So the backing papers, I know I'm flipping through and you're not getting to see all those, but there's a lot in here. There's a lot in here. It's a really pretty book. Oh, okay, Asa, good. If y'all don't follow Asa on Instagram, she has stunning coloring book pages too. So yeah, so this was a cool book. It was like, I think it was about $22, but it's got over 1,000 stickers. It's a nice hefty book. $21.99. So yeah, so it's got a lot of, let me flip it this way once, just so y'all can see. I like y'all to be able to see books, you know, at least some of it. So before you buy, because you can't see them on Amazon anymore. You know, the insides, you were lucky to see a back cover on most books anymore. I did get this at Books A Million, but I know it'll be on Amazon. I'll give y'all the ISBN. 979-890-193933. So that's that. And that's the only book I bought. Can y'all believe it? So I only bought one book over the weekend because I was out taking Samantha out. Okay, so I want to put this aside. I'm going to try to incorporate that somehow. I pulled a lot of stuff to try to use. Of course, these kind of books, and I'll do a flip, they're made to continuously add to them. Do I add to them that much anymore? No, because I started doing the little, you know, like, here, let me show you. Here, I'll go around my Asian one. During the virus, you know, I was doing a lot of this size. Is kind of, I don't know if they're really traveler's notebooks, and I was doing themed journals in this size. And I've got tons of them: Alice in Wonderland, Space, Undersea, Art Nouveau. And so you can just have a theme journal. It doesn't have to be this big, but, you know, it can be. And so, you know, if you just want a theme journal, you can do it small. And I started to do these big ones to keep ephemera in. But when I started collecting collage soup books, it kind of just, there's no way I was going to be able to collect collect all my ephemera in one book. So I just made them theme books. So let's turn the flash down a little. Let's turn the color back up. Turn the brightness down. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's see. Thanks everybody for being here. Hang around. We're going to do some cool giveaways after a while. And thanks for entertaining Hubster, telling his, trip stories. That was he loves telling about his trip to LA every time he goes. All right, this has got a little piece of something coming up here. Where's my little glue? Let me get my. I keep these up on the shelf, so if they, little might sometimes get a little peely edge or something. And so what these are, and this is why it's peeling so easily too, because I didn't glue it down really well. They're napkins. Those are napkins. But like when we do any kind of things that we want to have more stability, or like we're going to pop dot them up or anything, then we glue them down on some cardstock. And did I pull some here? Let's see. Do I have some right under here somewhere or not? I'm looking under my table here. Nope, I don't have it there. Let me go over here. So you can put, and it doesn't have to be real heavy cardstock, just, some thicker than paper cardstock. And what you do is either a napkin or your image or whatever, you just glue this down. Let's see here. I'm going to use my Eileen's tacky. You just glue down your image on a piece of cardstock before you cut it out. And then you have it thicker and more stable if you want to put pop dots, or just to have it more stable. I'm going to do this with some flowers that I chose out of the flower collage suit book. And so in the same way, these are they're napkins. So when you use napkins, and I'm not going to pull out my napkin journal right now, y'all probably all seen that a gazillion times too, but you have to peel off the top layer of your napkin. Well, let's see. Let me get one of these ones Sandra sent me here. Let's get one of those. I can reach for it. So these decorative napkins, and the best way to do this is just get a piece of double-sided tape. Hi, so much glitter Carrie. Anybody else coming in I missed? And just stick like that, and you can get it to start peeling up. I don't save this, but if you do, that's fine. Is there more than one here? Let's see. Is there just one there, or is there more than one sheet? Yeah, there's more than one. See how you can grab it with a piece of double-sided tape and then peel off all these backings. And that way, when you go to glue it, it's not going to peel up because of the layers. The other thing that you want to note before you glue your images down on something, either in an art journal or just to have the image itself, is you really want to start by putting it on white paper, because, let me show you here. Well, I could probably just use this. If you try to put your napkins over an image or on a colored piece of paper, let me get a piece. I'll show you the difference. Here's what it looks like when you glue it or put it on a white background to start with. See how nice and vibrant the colors are with the napkin? But if you start by putting it on a bowl, see, look how you lose the vibrancy. So let's just do that and see the difference. So you want to start by gluing your napkins down on white paper before you use them, or you can put it on a white journal page. But if you put your peeled napkin on say you've painted your whole background pink or yellow or black or whatever, you're going to lose. See how it's no longer that vibrancy of a napkin. So there is that. Okay. So you can glue this down just like I just did this flower, glue it down on a piece of cardstock and then cut it out. That's what I did with these. So they're on a piece of heavy cardstock. And look, I just flipped, I just peeled that up. Um, and that way, you have some stability. You can't just glue a piece of napkin down on a, like this and have it be more stable than that. Let's see. You store some of the cut up books in heavy plastic. Yes, I store all of them. I store all of them. Well, sometimes I run out of them, but I store them in these. And the reason I do this is because after I start cutting them up and things are, like all in pieces and stuff, if I just kept a book like this on the shelf, this would be all over everywhere, especially with as many books as I have and as many books as I use. All these pieces would be flying everywhere. So if I keep them in here, then if I use some or cut some, I can just tuck them in there. So I keep my collage books, collage soup, pour toast, whatever collage books I have. I keep them in these sleeves because it keeps it all contained, right? You can get them on Amazon. Let's see. Maybe you'll do this with magazine images. Yeah, they're just really handy, especially if you want to store them by a theme or something. All right, let's see. I said Belinda. Yes, I had a Belinda, Net. I'm just trying to see, make sure I said hi to everybody I can possibly say hi to. Put it in caps, guys, because like I said, my chat's tiny today. Okay, so I glued this one flower down. So before I want to use it, like I did here, and I did put glitter glue all around it or stickles or something. I don't remember what exactly I used, but I put some kind of gold glitter around them. So then you can cut them out, your images, whatever they may be, and they will be sturdy because you have put them on a piece of cardstock. So there you go. So now, and you can edge that, you could, ink it, you could do whatever, and then you can use them and they're going to be sturdier. Okay. So that's what I did, like these that are napkins. All right. So let me just kind of flip through these books real quick and we'll get started on making a new one. And I'll try to show you, and I'll back out because it's going to be big at first to show how this is on it starts as a piece of poster board. The poster board you can get, school supply poster board. You could get an Arches watercolor paper if you want, but you're going to be covering most of the stuff up. So, you might as well just use some heavy, poster board. And it's really not even that heavy, but it's, a nice cardstock weight. Okay. Hi, Cindy. Anybody else coming in? Thank you, Kat. There's the snapped envelopes there. Let's see. Okay. So this one was my Asian one. And again, I have this paper. I covered up. Again, we're going to be working like this. Okay. And I'll show you what this looks like before I cut it down. Okay. And we're going to be working on that. And that's what these are. And you can do so many things. Look, pockets. Again, these are stamped images on cardstock. And then I have like little paper clipped images. I got all these little different pockets. Okay, come back on there. There we go. Paper clip pockets, little different paper clips and napkins, and this is ribbon, like this kind of stuff that you get at like Hobby Lobby or whatever. Got that, and then here's some different little piles of different things. And tuck that back in there. Some of them I have sticking up off the top. And then over here. And then I always put a window, which I'll do that again today. I put a window in all my giant journals. Thank you, Ellen. So here's another window one. And I left a little. You don't have to cut this out. You could just cut a piece of something to make a vine. You don't have to actually cut the hole for the vine. And then again, here's some more napkins on cardboard on a chip cardstock. There's a little coin with a little, you know, thing fiber through it, and then some more pockets. Oh, that's on the next page. Let's go ahead and do this. So there we go. So you can see the window there, and then the window flips over, and now I have a different color painted on this side, and this is all the dots. Those are all liquid pearls. This is gold paint here. It's gold paint, you see there, and then this is all liquid pearls for the dots, and then again more napkins and a little one of those little flowers. And yeah, there's that. Then over here, usually I don't have this right here, so that when this is open, closed like that, you see her. So I usually have this. I think I just have it tucked down further like that. But I have all different kind of Asian papers in here. And so just different. There's a Joss papers and stamps and stickers and all kinds of stuff in here, and then I just have a little paper clip on it like this. And then it tucks in the little envelope. I like this one sticking out right there. Tucks right in there, and then this window kind of frames it like that. So and then all kinds of, this is some Stamperia paper. This is Stamperia paper, that lady there. Then on the other side, I've got all kinds of stamp tissue. Here's some this is the Year of the Rabbit stamps, which these really need to go in my that big thick desk journal, because I have a place for all those. So I'm going to put that in the other journal. So and then I've had people send me different things. Here's some Japanese sweets, and so that's in here, and just different little pockets. This is a stamp, a foam stamp here. These are some more of those ribbons, you know, this small version of this like that. And then a whole nother pack and stacks of papers. So anytime if I want anything with the Asian flavor, this is the book where I would go to get it. If you know, I wanted it right away. Here's some textured paper that I rubbed some gold on. And so, yeah. And then in the back, here's the back with another pocket and some more things in there. And then kind of recently, I got the Japanese Portos book, had some beautiful girls in there and some fish. So I cut those out and just glued them on. You can always continuously add to these. You can continuously add to these, you know, as often as you want. And I added this gold. I love that gold leaves ribbon. So that one is my Asian one. I'm going to show you the three I have made. Then this one, Samantha loved this. She goes, I love this one. I said, I'll put your name on it. Samantha really liked this one. And so again, this is, it was either a cardstock, already came on a cardstock, or I glued it on a cardstock. Here's some little world thing there. And this paper just looked like maybe a volcano, a blue volcano. So again, inside here, these are some different, you know, three-dimensional stickers and all kinds of, now I can't get them out here. There we go. Some different little cutouts. Some of these might be from Stamperia. Let me just kind of stack them up so I can put them, paper clip them here. And pockets up here, stickers, another just a little paper paper clip flags. The background is painted black, splattered stars. Here's a pocket. Again, here's a cutout window. I glued on all these confetti-like butterflies throughout. So I know they're fun to make because you can personalize them so much. Unicorns. And then on this side, it's all just painted purple with the space theme there. And you can put more pockets or whatever. And here's another row with some more, you know, napkins and papers and stuff in here and here. And envelopes full of stuff, and um, yeah, papers, pockets. And these all have four uh, four sheets, if you will. One, the one with the window. Two, three, four. The one I'm doing today, I thought I'd make it a little bigger because I might do. But I'll show you how I cut this up and how I used it in a minute. Because I might, with the bees, I might make this a bigger journal. Not today. We won't get, we only get so far in a day. So there's that one. And then the last one, which is my favorite, is my Leonardo da Vinci one. And I painted the poster board to look like I have a little metal hook here that popped off somewhere. So I need to put another little doorknob thing right there because that came off when it's in a stack. And but I made this to look like wood, a wood background, and there's some Leonardo da Vinci images out of a Leonardo da Vinci history book that I got on clearance somewhere. Let's see. Let me scroll back and see what we're saying here. Oh, Cindy Cat. Thank you, Tina. Pages to make it big. Yeah, you could. You could just add more. How I'm going to do this one is I'll just probably poke some holes in it and add some elastic to it. So you could add more and just untie it and poke some holes and add some more sheets. These I'm not going to add more pages to them because they're really complete art pieces in and of themselves. Let's see, scrolling. All right, so yeah. This is like a faux book paper from, I can't tell you where. This one I edged everything in gold. The whole thing is edged in gold. Every and again, it's got does this one have four as well? Yeah, it's got four. And so it's got, there's Leonardo. Here's a little steampunk. He was not just an artist, but he was an inventor. So I got steampunk things, and then again, dots of liquid pearls there. And this is napkin paper glued to some cardstock to make the pockets. Okay. And then just got little things tucked in everywhere. And then this window here, there's another little bookmark here tucked in right there. And then there's our Mona Lisa, and I put a little mirror, and then there's my camera, a little mirror in there. And again, I don't really want to cover up Leonardo's face because this is supposed to be a frame around his face. There's some more of that leaf ribbon. And then these are either napkins or pieces of paper glued to cardstock and popped up. Here's some black lace. You can add anything to these. Okay, here's some different Leonardo out of his books. And then here is the Last Supper. Here, I got little doors here and more steampunk stuff layered up there. Whole bunch more Leonardo papers. Here's this one's from the Codex. This is from Ciao Bella. This is a Ciao Bella paper. So I got some things from that. And then this is like a faux leather paper. Artie Dar sent me that probably 15 years ago. Use those for pockets and little brads to hold it in. Then the next page has got more of his paintings. There's a piece, I did a sample of how I did the wood background, painted the wood. Then again, more little books and napkins. Here's a little tiny book that I made to make it look like parchment. Little parchments like this, and this opens up like that. Like this. And then I have some little heart in there. And just a little paper clipped together. So I made a few of these. There's a couple of them in here. They just open up like this. So Yeah, got some of those little books in here. Paintings, more ephemera here. Pockets, and then these are napkins glued onto some cardstock, and those open up to some different things in Leonardo's sketchbooks there, like that. So yeah, I loved my Leonardo book. So there's that one. So I want to make a bee one. So what is we start out with is a big sheet. Now I'm going to have to probably back out again here. And let's see about the lighting. It looks pretty good. The gold, yeah, the gold is a nice touch, Tina. All right, let me get a sip of my water. I'll have to do a BRB in a minute. Okay, so the theme of this one is going to be bees. So I pulled out the bees knees collage suit book, and I just showed you the floral one. I cut out some flowers here, and then I got some gold jelly plated tissue papers, and yeah, I don't know. I just pulled things I might use. I got some punchinella there. I got a couple of bee stencils. Screen went there. It came back. My screen went black for a second. This flower stencil. I got a couple of honeycomb stencils here. So I got that. Those are the flower I just cut out. So I pulled that. Then I got some kind of gold colored gauze. I don't know. I just pulled things I thought might. Let's see who's messaging me. Denise. Oh, wait. Denise is giving me a message here. Let's see. Okay, so Cameron's up in, he's almost, this was last night at 1:00 in the morning. He's supposed to check into the hotel today. So he's up there. I think he might be in Bozeman, or what he was last night. And then they process there, I think. It's an all day processing thing. And then they go on shuttles, or Cameron took his car. I don't know where he parks the car. I didn't ask. But anyway, some people drive their cars. And so he and his coworker that drove from here to there, they're there. They're up in Yellowstone, or they're around Yellowstone. So thank you, Denise, for that update. Denise just messaged me that this morning. Thank you, Denise. So anyway, I got some yellow goldy gauze. I thought that might be fun. I got this, like I already showed you, these flowers. You just have to kind of go through. This is how my process works when I make a themed journal, is I just try to go through and find anything I can on that theme. But as I'm doing stuff, you're going to remember things you have, like, oh yeah, I remember I have some yellow twine. I got some black twine. It's over so and so, wherever it is, or this fabric, and I didn't even go through my fabrics. So, this, we'll see how far we get today, but you can always add more stuff. I already had this from years ago, this bee twill ribbon. So, and I've been using it off and on for years, just little pieces of it, little bookmarks and stuff for that. And then I did find a big yellow fuzzy paper clip. And then, of course, the washi tape that I just got from Hubster. I got some seam binding, silk type seam binding, some of the gold leaves, and a gold ribbon, because gold's going to be with the bees. So I got that and that. And again, I'll pull more stuff. So I did pull some flowers out of the Flower Power collage suit book, along with and I haven't gone through this yet. You'll see how we're going to work it. Okay. Then I also pulled some black cardstock, because I'm going to decorate after we cut down the book. We decorate with, either cardstock. I have this yellow paper that I got at Blick. I have this gold paper that I got at Blick. I have this black paper that I got at Blick. So I got all these papers to also use, plus this packaging from Hubster's mugs that he got when he bought the mugs. This was, they wrapped them in this. And so it looks like honeycomb. So we got that. All right. So now let's move this. I just pulled a wad. This is like cutoffs when I mount paper prints or whatever. When I mount them on some cardstock, these are the leftovers. And so we're going to use that. Okay, so let's set that over there. And also wax paper you can really make it can look like if you put this over something that has bee effect, like a bee or something, it makes it look like wax, So we'll probably use some wax paper. So I pulled some of that. Let's see, what else do I have over here? Is that all I got? Okay, now I'm going to do a BRB. I'm going to do a quick BRB because I'm drinking all this lemon water, and then I'll show you how I cut this down, and we'll get to work. All right, be right back. Oh, I did just remember that Samantha, because remember 2 weeks ago or whatever, I told her, I said, Matt, email me that tour you did where she did the installation for the famous, I don't have it right in front of me, the name of the famous wedding dress designer. But here is the video she sent me. So let's see if I can show this video, if it'll show. See the camera. Let's go on this side. There we go. All right, here we go. It's 4 rooms. And Samantha had a hand in putting this all together at the campus, at the museum, the campus museum. I'll do it again here. All those dresses had to be steamed, put on mannequins, and it's 4 rooms full. So that was one of her projects, was putting together that installation. I know, right, Debbie? All right, let's see what else I'm missing here in chat. Let's see. Did I say hi to you, Cindy? Thank you for being here. Put it in caps, guys, so I see it. Okay, I think I caught up. All right, so what I start out with, let's see. Well, how far can I back up? Am I backed up enough here? Let's see. Yeah, I'm backed all the way up as far as my camera will go without me actually moving the camera. Do I have one in here? We go. All right, so take a poster board here. All right, this is how I got to this point, okay? Now, you can get 2 out of 1 poster board, but I'm going to do a thicker one because, the other ones that I just showed you only have 4 sheets, front and back, and the inside. There's 8 sides, but it's only 4 sheets. All right, so you have your poster board. Just fold it in half. And when you fold something that you want to get lined up nicely, hold it up here and go right to the middle and push on the edge here. Push on the edge and hold it right there. Okay, hold that. Make sure that your corners are lined up. Then what you do is go from here and like that. Okay, that will keep your corners straight. Then you want to use a bone folder. Where's my bone folder? Here we go. And then I just flatten it out. And mind you, I'm doing it on top of a bunch of stuff here, so you don't want to do that. Okay, so then I did that. And then I folded it again. All right, folded it again, same kind of thing. Going from the middle out. Okay. And yeah, this is one. This is to make like the other ones. So I used two of these sheets for the B one. Okay. So now you have this big giant poster folded in half and folded in half. And what I just did is I just took, and you can just take scissors. See, I'm not really taking my time here to do a nice crisp bone folder thing there. And then you can just take scissors, or you can do cuts with your what do you call it, paper cutter. And I'm just cutting off the bottom. Did I get the whole thing? Let's see. I think so. And now I have 4 sheets. I mean 4 pages. 1, 2, 3. Well, 4, 8 sides with 4 sheets out of one poster. But what I did with this one is I cut down 2. So that's all it is. It's just a cut down poster board. Okay. And so here we go. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got 4 more. So this is 2 poster boards. Okay, 2 poster boards cut down. That's all that is. Yeah, you can make it smaller, but the point of this is to make it, if that's the case, you can just use cardstock. Just use regular size cardstock, 8.5 by 11, and fold it in half or whatever. So, but if you want a big journal, then get a piece of poster board. That's why I did this. Okay. All right. So the first thing I want to do is probably cut a window. And in this case, I want to cut 2 windows because I got extra sheets in here. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's just, I'm going to just talk it through the process. Do I have where's my big cutting board? My cutting mat. Where's my big cutting mat? I don't even know where my big cutting mat is. Okay, I'm going to have to do it in pieces then because I don't know where my big cutting mat is. Let's get the small one here then if I can't find the big one. All right. What am I cutting? That might work. Okay, so I want to go, and I'm just going to go ahead and just, take it apart, put it all back together. But I want 2 of them to have windows. So I'm going to take 2, set this aside. And then I want this one to have a window on this side, and then I want the other one to have a window on this side. Of course, you can always just fold it back the other way. I mean, at this stage, it's just a piece of paper with a fold, so you can fold it either way you want. Okay. All right. So I just want 2 cuts with the window, and you can make this any size you want. I just make it up as I go. I think what I did is I took a ruler. Let's see here. Let me find my rulers. I think I'll do 1 bigger window and 1 smaller window. Let me find my other ruler here. Okay. All right. So I have this quilting ruler, and I got this little 2-inch ruler. So this one's a 4-inch, I think. No, 3-inch. This is 3-inch. This is a 2-inch. So what I'll do is just get a pencil. Let's see. Little stamps out of the way so they don't get wet. All right. Put it in caps, guys. Put it in caps if you have any, want to ask me a question. So what I did, I think, was I just used this ruler and went around, all the way around. And this is how I decided the size of the frame. It's just a 2-inch ruler. Whoops. Got away from me. Okay. All right, so there's 1. I'll cut in 2. And then the other one I'll do a smaller window. So it'll just be like this here. And I do need to get my metal ruler. You really do want to, if you're using a X-Acto blade or a wallpaper, a box cutter, you don't want to use plastic rulers. So let me find my metal ruler over here. Okay. All right. How we doing in chat there? Not seeing any comments. All right, let's see. Where's my box cutter? I like using one of these instead of an X-Acto knife. I feel like I have more control than a little skinny knife. That's just me. Different people like to cut with different things. All right, so I have my cutting mat under there. Let's just make sure it's all around. Okay, so now let's just line this up. And I can use where I cut out to glue flowers down and cut out. Okay, so, uh-oh. I got off a little track. There we go. Take your time. Don't look at chat while you're doing this. Make sure it's in there. All right. Oops. Little piece there I didn't cut. All right. So there's one window. And again, you can use this to glue flowers and stuff down before you cut them out. Napkins, thin papers, whatever. So we're going to put that aside to use. Okay, now this one. Let's do this one. And again, the idea of these is a theme journals. And you've seen my smaller ones. And you saw the larger ones that I showed a little while ago. If you missed it, just go back. Okay, so now we got some windows in two pieces. So the whole thing here, we got this. Remember, I cut down 2 poster boards. So we got this one will go here. And we open this up and we got another one here. But I think what I'll do is I'll flip it and I'll have this one be toward the back. Okay, so now let's go ahead and stack. And again, I'm not worried about binding it right now. In the end, I think what I'll do is just punch some holes and use some elastic string, the elastic string. You could even go all the way around, so you could slip in just like a traveler's notebook, slip in more pages, but I probably won't slip in more pages. If anything, we're going to make pockets. So we're going to be making pockets to go here. All right, so we got this, that's a little rough right there. Let's just go in here and trim this up a little. There we go. Okay, so we got that. This, another little window, this. So there's a lot of pages in this one. Does that make 16 pages? Because there's 8 in the regular one, so that makes 16 pages. All right, so I think what I'll start is with the windows and maybe make a pocket as well. So you can use like the leftover out of here. You can just use cardstock. So let's see how wide. That's just a little. It's going to be. You don't want it the exact size because when you close it, it's not going to. It's not going to fit. Especially if you're going to glue a pocket in, you're really going to want to make it just a little smaller. So let me go ahead and put my little guard back in there. Okay, so let's cut about a 1/4 inch off there, and let's see how that goes. Yeah, that's a little better. And I can always trim it down even more. So we're going to start by making a pocket and doing the two windows. All right. Now it's going to be a little, I don't say tedious, but it's going to be a little basic. It's going to be a little basic to start with. Painting, papering. It's going to be very, kind of basic, but I'm starting from scratch. I wanted y'all to see how to make one of these from scratch. So you can always zoom through later if you don't want to watch it all. If you're watching the recording, of course, people that are here now are here to be in the chat too. Let me put this. Let's move that back up just a little. It's a little dark over there. We go. It's a little better. Okay, let's see. Did I say hi to you, Carrie? Oh, you got all kinds of helicopters going over your house, Tina. Okay. So now I have to decide what I want to. I've got one pocket in this to do. I can either start by doing like just a pocket all in yellow. That would be a simple one to start with. So I'm just going to take, this is one of those big sheets of paper you get at Blick, and they're in drawers. You have to go through, I like to go through the drawers. I got 30 drawers of paper, and I go through each drawer one by one, open the drawers and see what kind of papers are in there. Like they might have 5 of this kind of style in different colors in one drawer, or in another drawer they might have this kind of paper, just different papers. I like going through drawer by drawer. Okay, but this, let's see, how much was this one? Does it have it on here? It's a 20 by 30. It doesn't have the price on that, but they run about, like this may be about $7 or $8, whereas one of these, like this type of paper may be 15 for the same size, but this fancier one. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and make a pocket out of some of this paper. And you can just you don't have to use this fancy rice paper. You can use colored cardstock, which I might use some of that too for another pocket or something. All right, so now again, I'm just going to come over here and just cut this down. Not even measuring this. I'm just going to, I want it to fit though. Cut a piece off, and then I'll probably also do a yellow background on this. And I don't know if this pocket's going to go here, but I'll probably do yellow here as well. All right, so then all I'll do is I'll get my tacky glue, and I leave my tacky glue in a little thing like this, so I'll just have to take off the lid. Now, don't just stick that back in there like that for more than a minute, because it'll start leaking out, So I put that handy there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and you could also just, if you're doing a big project like this, if I wasn't here on stream, I'd probably just pour out some tacky glue in one of my coffee palettes and then just pick it up with my finger. But, I don't have room for all that right now with all this going on. So then you want to smooth it out so you don't have lumps and bumps. Just going to smooth it out. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this down, turn it over, and smooth it out. And what I like about Eileen's tacky is it rolls off your fingers. It just rolls off your fingers. Okay, we got a little dark there. Let's brighten it back up just a little. There we go. All right, let's see. Bye, Arlene. Thanks for stopping in, and happy belated birthday again. I did text her happy birthday last week. Just want y'all to know it's her birthday. Hi, Messy Die. Messy Die, if you missed the beginning, I showed the kind of journals I'm making here, the giant journals I made years ago, the big ones, and I showed 3 samples. And this one's going to be a bee-themed journal. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and let's just put a little in the corner. So this is the back side, so it's not as, I don't have to be quite so careful as far as no lumps or bumps, because this is going to be on the inside of a pocket. But so let's just do this. And again, just like that. And I'm going to just go ahead and go all the way around. Hope I'm staying in frame. It's a big journal, so I'm kind of far away. So if y'all, I can zoom in if y'all want, but I don't know how much. Then you're just going to see a white square, I think. So, all right. So now we got the corners down. So now we're going to do the flaps here. And if you really want to make sure that your pocket is nice and, I don't want to say, sturdy, maybe, to me, this is a decent enough pocket, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make, just take another little piece of cardstock here. Where's that other little piece? How big is that? Big enough? Let's see. No, let's get another cardstock here. This one's a little, not too thick, not too thin. So let's just go ahead and let's just put a doesn't have to be that neat. It's the inside of a pocket here. But one of the reasons I like to do this sometimes is if a paper, you don't want to have a pocket and have things, you're putting things in and out, and then it's going to catch. So you don't want it to catch. So if you do this, then it's not going to catch. Does that make sense? Hi, Beth. Anybody else I missed? We're making, I can't show you all the books again right now. Y'all have to just go back if you missed the beginning. But we're making a bee journal. All right, let's get off of here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this kind of covered. Then I'll just do a little bit like extra on the edges here, because I want the edges really glued down well so that when you put things in and out of a pocket, it's not going to catch. Okay. There we go. Taking notes, Ellen? Okay. The other day I needed a bee. And again, I'm just rolling the glue off my fingers. It just rolls right off. The other day I needed a bee in one of my journals that I was working in. And I was sitting here, I bought this little banner thing here, and I have my lights mixed in with it. And it has some bee ribbon in there. So I said, oh, I like that. I need a bee. So I just took my scissors and cut some off the banner. Now this can go in this bee journal. All right, so there we go. We got a pocket made. I don't know if it's going to go on this page, another page, but we have a pocket made. So, all right, so I do want to cover this. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to just take this out. We got, you just got to move it around to get to things. Okay, I'll put that down here for a second. And I want this to be yellow. Now I can either take some of this paper and cover it, or I can start by painting it and then I think what I'll do is this, I might make this one be black, but I want the background. Oh, I do want the background to be, here's what I'm thinking. A yellow background, which I can paint and put some of this black paper over it. I don't have any room over here, guys. Things are just flying off my table. Oh my goodness. So I think what I'll do is I'll start on this because not much is going to show. So it's kind of a waste to use this paper for just to have a little bit of a yellow background. So what I'll do is I'll paint this. Now I'm going to have to let me get a big sheet of wax paper because I'll get this paint everywhere. I haven't even gone through my washi tapes or nothing yet as far as decorating, because I knew this was going to take a minute to do the base. Okay. So we'll do this, and we'll just move this around as we go. All right, let me see what bright yellow do I want. I think I want this yellow. This is just cad yellow. Let's just get some cad yellow. Janet, do you know what you're doing today? Janet streams at 1 Eastern. As far as I know, she's still streaming. Right, let me move my little pocket out of the way. And again, I got all kinds of papers and bee stencils and what do you call it? Honeycomb stuff here to use. I pulled as much stuff as I could just get my hands on. Uh-oh. Gonna watercolor? Okay, so Janet comes on at 1 Eastern, guys. She's gonna do some watercolor. All right, that's not very bright. It needs to be a little brighter. Let me add a little bit more. Let's see, what's this color? Sunny Day. I'll just mix these two together. Because there we go. That's a little better. All right, now let's just get a brush. Let me wet the brush. My Poe is in the way, if y'all missed it. Oh my goodness. Zandra sent me that. I'm destashing. Poe needs to live with you. All right, so let's just mix those two yellows together. Okay, so now. I'm just trying not to cover my whole table with yellow paint. So. And I don't care if it gets on the back. Everything's going to be covered. There's not going to be any just white cardstock. It'll all be covered, papered, painted. So if I get something on the back at this stage, now if I have something done, finished on one side, then I'm going to be more careful about not getting it on the back or whatever. You know what I mean? But at this stage, this is just the first one. So it's not going to matter if something gets on the back. I'm just trying to keep my base, my desk not too painty because then I'll get paint everywhere. All right, so there we go. So there's that. So let's move the paint from who knows where. Let's how much paint do I have on the back? So let's go ahead and fold that in half. Okay, there we go. Now let me get anytime I want to clean my brush, I first take out the excess paint before I put it in my water. It keeps the paint water cleaner longer. Let's see. High view. If you want to know what I'm doing, y'all have to go back. I can't start over because that is too much. All right, let me plug in my heat tool here. And let's dry this. We are going to do a giveaway, though, with some of the napkins that Sandra sent and some of those little cat papers that Hubster brought me back from LA. And if y'all missed the beginning, Hubster gave a blow-by-blow of what he did in LA. Visiting our daughter out there. And grandson and son-in-law. And if I like this, I might do a big full-on sheet of yellow with this black. All right, so there we go. So there's that. Now, the heat tool has no space. I want to take some. See, part of it is because everything's so big. I want to take some of this and cut down some strips and just have see how the yellow's peeking through? I didn't want it white. So let's just see here how I want to do this. And I could have it just kind of have a little bit of the edge showing. It's okay. It doesn't have to go. I'm not going to roll it over the edge, if you know what I mean. All right. So let's see here. I'll trim that down here in a minute. Let's go ahead and trim this down. And I'll trim it down, but I got to get it kind of cut down to size a little bit. So I'm going to need 2 this size. We will trim. And then let's do another one about the same size for the other side. Okay, and now I'm going to need, after I do that, I'm only going to need about 1 more of these should be enough for the bottom. for the bottom and top. I'm guesstimating, guys. If y'all want to measure everything, that if you're Janet, you go ahead and measure everything. I mean, really, it is measure once, cut. I mean, yeah, measure twice, cut once. But so, okay, that should be enough. Now let's just throw that on the floor over there so I have no space. All right, so what I want to do here is let's just go ahead and I'm going to just trim this down a little. Let's see how I might have to trim it down just a little more. Yeah. I just wanted to cut a piece off to get it off the big sheet because it's so hard to work with those big sheets. All right. All right, let's see. That looks good. A little bit more here. It's supposed to look honeycomb-esque, so I'm not wanting it to be like cut like with the ruler. You know what I mean? There we go. So that's one side. That will be a good little piece on a postcard. This will go in the trash. Okay, so now let's see here. I think I'll go this way. I've got to cut down quite a bit more. The 1/8 of an inch, maybe. Again, this is going to be a bee journal, a big bumblebee journal. Let's see. I got metal ruler over the weekend. Good, Ellen. Yeah, you'll use a metal. I mean, you really don't ever want to cut with an X-Acto knife or a box cutter without having a metal ruler. You do not want to do that with plastic. Ask me how I know. And again, this is this is just my desk thing there. Maybe I should put a piece of white under there so it doesn't look. Let's see here. I got so many little pieces of paper everywhere. All right, let me get another, just so y'all can kind of not be distracted by the desk print. There we go. That's better. Like that. All right, now let's go ahead and glue these down. Then I'll glue the two in the between. All right, so I'm just gonna do this. It might take a minute. If it was just me, let me just say this. If it was just me, I'd just put a bunch of glue here and glue this down. But that would mean that the glue would be coming through those holes. But I would just set this aside for 15 minutes and let that glue dry. We can't do that here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and glue. I'm going to kind of hand glue the, what do you call it? Hang on, I need a baby wipe. Hang on. Instead of doing that, like this, and just putting it down and having glue pop through the holes and having to sit and let it dry, I'm just going to do this. So, which is fine. I'm just going to put it wherever there's not a hole. Like this. And that's hanging over the edge just, well, you know what? I kind of like that. I think I like that little bit over the edge right there. I'm going to leave it. Okay. This may need a little, let's go. Okay. Just to give it a little bit of something hanging over the edge, but we'll see if it starts pulling away or catching on things, I'll just trim it down. See, now there's no glue coming through the holes there. All right, there's that. Now I got to trim these down. Let's see, a little piece here. Overlap just a little. Trim just a little more. All right. And then this one. That looks pretty good. Then we'll do a collage page. Maybe the cover. Maybe we should do the cover. We could do the cover. I'll take a minute and look at chat. Okay. It was nice to have Samantha spend the night Saturday. She hung out in my art room most of Saturday. I don't know how late she stayed up. Then I made us breakfast tacos on Sunday, and she couldn't stay very long. She couldn't stay till Hubster got home because he didn't get home till about 4:30, almost 5 o'clock. So she had to get back. She has a project she had to do last night and turn it in this morning. She's almost, getting ready to graduate. So, all right, there we go. Okay, so there's that. That looks pretty good. All right, let's get my baby wipe. Checking for any comments and caps. Thanks, everybody. We're going to do a giveaway in a little bit with some of this. And so, again, I haven't made any bee, cutouts or anything like that yet, or use the stencils yet. But what I'll probably do is, I have that yellow out. Let's just go ahead and do that real quick. Let's get a piece of that paper here. Let's just go ahead and do a couple of, while I have that yellow paint still wet, let's go ahead and do, let's stencil a couple of bees, and then we can add black to them later when it dries. All right, so let's see here. Let me get a sponge or something. And anytime you stencil with acrylic paint, you want a dry sponge. Any sponge you want, but it has to be dry. So if you use a sponge to stencil and you want to change colors, or you want to, and you wash this, don't use it while it's damp or wet, because that'll just push water up under the stencil. So you want a dry sponge every time you start a new stencil. Okay. So I'm just going to get some on here, and I'm just going to stencil the whole bee, even though there's going to be black, in there somewhere. I'm just going to stencil the whole bee, to be or not to be. Okay. All right. There we go. I'll clean this off in just a second, Janet. Because there's going to be multiple parts. Remember, there's 16 pages in this book, as opposed to the 8 in the others. All right, so there we go. So that. Now what I'll do is I'm going to drop this in my water bucket so it doesn't harden while we're working. And if I do any more stenciling, I'd get a fresh sponge. All right, so now let's see here. Let's get my wax paper. Let's put this on here just to kind of, I don't usually clean my stencils much. I'm just getting the excess off there. Okay. It's just so I don't make a mess all over my room with wet paint. All right, there we go. Okay. Now, fresh baby wipe. I did get me a couple of new packs of baby wipes over the weekend. I go through the baby wipes, whether I'm collaging, gluing, painting, making books, whatever. A lot of baby wipes. Thank you, Tina. Let's see. Hi, Shaz. Where you been? It's good to see you. Good to see you, Shaz. It's been a while. Okay, so now we got that. And again, this is hanging over a little. I don't mind it, but we'll see what happens. Because what's going to happen is going to show on the, you know what? Let me just trim it because I'll be catching it on stuff. I know I will. All right, so let me just turn this over and just trim it here. Now you got to remember, every bit of this book, all the poster paper pages are going to be covered, painted, collaged on. There's not going to be any just white paper. It's gonna, it's all gonna be covered or something done to it. I know, right, Tina? All right, let me move my yellow paint out of my way for a minute. Okay, so let me get a sip of lemon water. I won't trim down the bees completely, the stencil bees yet, because I don't know if I want them to be on, heavier paper or what, but I'm just going to trim them off of this sheet just so they're, at hand here. And I'll let them dry and then add black with, what do you call it? A marker, pen, whatever, after later. So, but we'll have them at hand. All right, because I want to try to use as much stuff as I can today, just to give y'all ideas, because we're not finishing this thing today. All right, so there's a little bit of one of the page borders. Now, do I want, because this is going to be the cover here, do I want to go ahead and start on the cover? Maybe. If it's not going to be the cover, or we can still get it. I'm going to move all this off the way here. All my rulers. No, just put them on the floor. Okay. Everything goes on the floor while I'm streaming, and then I'm picking up everything afterward. All right, so let's see here. I'm using the Collage Suit Bee's Knees. I got a bunch of flowers cut out. All these flowers will be, if you remember in the, let me get my Asian journal on here. See how some of them overlap? They overlap like here. See, there's a overlap. They, come over the border here like this. All right. Well, that's what these flowers are going to do as well. So I really need to at least, not that I need them right now, but I'll do a couple. Let me get another piece of cardstock here. Okay, where's this going? It's not overly heavy, but it's not. Some of this is paper. I don't want that. I just want the cardstock. Okay. And that is to take, like I did this one. Let's do another one here. Let's do this one and this one maybe. I'm just trying to find a place to put things, really. All right, let's do those two for now. All right, we did that little one. So what I'll do is I'll just take my tacky glue. Again, this is just to give it just some stability, and I can use pop dots or overlap or whatever. To make them kind of dimensional. Just getting out the lumps and the bumps. All right. That where's my little scissors? It's under here. Where'd they go? All right. And so if you glue it down before you fussy cut it, you're only having to cut it once. This one was already fussy cut out. So, I'm having to fussy cut it out again, but okay. Hi, Artie Dar. We were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? One of the papers I used in one of my journals that I was showing a little while ago had some of the paper you sent me. And so I mentioned your name. Did you hear me? Artie Dar's been around since day one, back in Ustream day. So I'm in my 16th year. I'm in my 16th year of streaming, and Artie Dar has been there since the first year. Okay, so she made that faux leather paper I showed a little while ago. Okay, so now, so they're a little, so if I want to pop dot these up, let's just say I was going to put them here. I'm not going to put them right here, but let's just say I was going to put them here. So I could put this here. I could pop dot this up on here. I think I'm going to cut that off. That one's bugging me. If I can add it back if I need to. So, I can pop dot them. I can layer them like this and then have a bee on here, or, a photo of a bee. We're going to go into the collage soup book, and have that. So you can see how this is going to work out as far as layers, right? But I wanted to show you, you can do that. All right, now let's just put that over there. Let's see. All right, so I might want something like a major focal point on the front. I like her, but I wish she was facing the other way for a cover. Like this. Maybe this needs to be the cover. Oh no, I really like her. I like her. Y'all remember I showed y'all. Let me show you some of the other ones I've done with the collage soup on the discs. See, I've done her on the wood disc, and I've done her on the wood disc. And these are 14-inch discs, and then these are the 10-inch discs that I've just done small bee-themed wood discs. But the nice thing about doing a journal like this is you can have pages in there where you can write. You can write, the history of the bee if you want. I do like her. I like her better, I think. I like her too. I like all of them. So let's just see. I just like because she's looking straight at you as far as a cover. I just like the way she looks better than this, but this has more of a bee focal point. You know what I mean? Since it's a bee journal, it probably should be, I like this girl better, but this has got the main bee. So, and y'all know I've already dug up into this a bunch of times. See, all this will be good for like a pocket. Just a little pocket right there. We'll maybe make another pocket. See, I've cut it. This is why I keep them in sleeves. Because it'll all get away from me. Okay, I do like some of this, but I like that too, so I don't want to use all. And here's some watch pieces, I've done. This would be maybe a pocket like that. Pull that for a pocket. I like her too, but I like her because she's facing front. I like her. I like her a lot, but she's facing the wrong way for a cover. I like this page. I think I'm going to forego Granny because I like this. I can always buy another one if I love it so much, or if I run out of, if I run out of bee stuff, we'll get another one. I like this. That's what's on the back. Okay, I'll forgo her so I can have that. She's stunning. Maybe she can go on the back cover. Oh, look, the queen bee. That would be Janet right there. Janet's page. She would have this on the cover. Let me see. Let me zoom in a little since I'm not. Where's my mouse? We can zoom in a little bit here. There we go. There we go. That's better. I like her though. I like her. It's got a lot of red though. I think I might have to go with the queen bee or her. But I like this too. And see, I don't make. It's got to be something really needful for the moment for me to take a picture, make a copy, and print out a copy. I just don't do that. I just find something else. But I think she needs to go on the back cover. I'm thinking this will be the back cover. This will be the front cover. But I do like the queen idea here. It's a lot of queens. Here we go. Look, see? That one's good too. Which one do I like better for the back? Almost like this because it almost could be her. Could almost be the same girl. So she's on the front and she's on the back. And I could just put her in the middle somewhere. Like she could be in the framed thing. So I think I'm going to go with front, back, and in the middle. I'm not going to pull everything I'm going to use right now. Like I love this. This will probably be in there somewhere. This will probably be in there somewhere. So, okay. So I'm going to set this aside for me because I got more than I can use for the moment. Okay, where's my plastic sleeve? I don't know what I did with this down here. Okay. All right. So she'll be on the cover. Remember, there's 16 pages. There's 16 pages total. So, we got a lot here. I think and y'all know I love me some space. So I think the front and back are going to have outer space. And then she'll be the back, front and back. This is the front cover here, but I need another one of the pages for the back cover. Well, let's see, how do I want to do this? All right, let's move this out of the way to the side, front and back. I want to try to get as many different techniques and stuff in here as we can. And again, I'll just probably make a pocket out of this. This will be a pocket. I'll trim it all down, put it on cardstock like we did that other one. Where is that one here? Like this one. We'll do like, this. Maybe that should even go on there. Ooh, I think that will work. Let's do that. Wait for it. Yeah, let's trim this down. Oh, thank you, Kat. Kat put the link into the collage suit book, I think. All right. And then I think another thing I can do here is, I have it handy, though. That's the thing. I pulled some earlier for another project, but do I have it here? Hang on. What do I do with it? I just used some this weekend, and now I'm not sure where I can put it. Let's see. Would it be over here on the side? Hang on, guys. I'm looking for something in particular, and I'm not sure where I put it. No, I didn't put it there. If I can't find it soon, I'll just move on and do it later. I'm digging through my little box over here. Here we go. Corners. some gold corners. All right, so we are going to just put some glue down here. Wait, let's go ahead and put these down first. Let's see. I want these on here before I start gluing. All right, how am I going to hold? Let's just put a little dab here. And they're stickers, so I can't set this down. So I'm going to put a little bit of, just to hold them in place for a minute. Is sticky. I gotta turn it over. Let go of me. All right, now take my glue and leave a pocket. Which way does it want? I want it to go. I want it to go this way. So I want less glue up here. Okay. No cap on. So little gold corners, and then I have a pocket right here. And I think it needs some kind of a trim. Like this, right along there. Let's just do that. Then I'll set this aside to dry. Things have to set up as you go. Otherwise, you're going to be bumping them and shuffling what you just glued. The hubster's back home. There we go. I really should have it right up to the edge, I think. Let's do that. And a little extra glue where I don't want it to unravel. So we'll set this aside to dry. So I have a little pocket there for one of the, in the book. I'm going to set that aside. All right, now let's go back. Let's see, what am I doing in chat here? The bees, Kat put a link to the collage book. All right, let's put this aside in the pile. All right, so now I want to, let's see, how much of this do I want? Keep a couple of those little leaves sticking up there on her shoulder, just a couple. If y'all missed the flips of the my books that I've done before in this size and this format, I showed 3 of them earlier. And most of y'all have seen them before. And then we can always add, liquid pearls, like I did on the other ones. Liquid pearls, stickles, all that stuff. But that's kind of like at the end of a page, when you're done with the page and you're going to sit the book aside for the day and you're going to let it dry. I'm going to kind of round that off so it looks like part of it here. But, pull out all the stuff when you're making a big project like this, because it is a big project. it is a, some dedicated time to making a big book like this, especially since I'm not just making 4 pages front and back, which is 8. This one's 16. This one is 16 pages. So I'm going to cut that bee off and cut it out and reapply it. And I'll probably dig around and find some more bee images and pop dot them up, put them all, you can put them all over her. And these little dangly pieces of hair here look like wings. Otherwise, I wouldn't be keeping those on here, but they look like wings. So I'm keeping those. There we go. And then little bees and things can go, later. This can go in the scrap box. It sits right under my desk. I can just open the lid and throw it in. This I will, I like that bee better. I think we'll keep that bee. Okay. All right. So now that'll be the front cover. I'm just going to get them, I want to get them ready, the front and back, because I'm going to paint them both at the same time. So, all right, let's see. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit of bee image kind of right there. Let's go with the tour. Put it in caps if you're talking to me. I know I keep saying that, but I glance over and I look for caps. Let's see here. Let's keep those 2 wings. You don't have to keep everything. Just keep, what's necessary for your project. Round it out. Here we go. Let's go down this side. Kathy Berg, she should be on tomorrow at 10 to 10:30 Eastern. She has a bee binder. I have bee books. I don't have a bee binder. All in just a whole binder. Maybe if we ask her nice tomorrow, she'll show it. She showed it a couple weeks ago, I think. Okay, so let's see. I want that cut off there. All right, let's see. Let's move some of this. I don't know how much I'll use. I like that background paper. So I'll put that in the scrap box for another project. All right, now let's see if I can make some space here. It's going to get a little bigger. And again, guys, I showed y'all I got flowers, I got gauze, I got, leaves, and this I'll even make a what do you call it, a bookmark, in the book. So I got lots of stuff here that we probably won't get to all this today because, it just takes time to some twine. And I showed you the stencils and some jelly plated gold paper. So I'm just going to stack this up here and just move this whole thing to the floor because I have to have some room. Okay, so now, watch. All right, so now let's move. That's trash. Let's move this paper here and let's get the back of the book. So we got all the pages. I showed how you fold and cut and all that. So she's going on the front. And this is going to go, let's see, let me go ahead and divide the book back up again. This will go here. Let's see, did I want that? Yeah, I want this in there. Or do I want to flip that around? No, I think I'll have that toward the back. Because where's my other cut page? There it is. I have my other cut page that we haven't decorated yet. But I have to have the front and the back together, which is going to be this cover. So all I really need to do is keep this. No, I got to have something for the back. Wait, I got to have another page. I have another page as a front and the back because I can't have this be the back. So if we do this, so then we have the front and the back. So now let me just take that out of all the book. You gotta kind of think about it a little bit. All right, so I'm going to open this up. This is going to be the front. This is going to be the back when it's closed. Okay. Oh wait, let me cut the rest of her crown out. Someone's probably yelling at me in the chat. Cut out her crown. Cut out her crown. Thank you, Tina. There's Kathy Berg's channel right there. There's Zandra. Zandra. Where'd he go? Where'd I put him? Here he is. Sandra gave me a pose. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. Let's finish cutting out her crown. Thanks again, Xandra. That was so sweet. I'm going to give some of those napkins away today in our giveaway. Xandra sent us some beautiful flower napkins. And y'all know I don't need 20 of them. All right, so there we go. This will be a start. And I can always add more things on top of it, behind it, whatever. But I think I'm going to go ahead and start by painting the background first and splattering some stars. And that'll be our base. So let me just move them two to the side for a minute. Let's see if I can get some wax paper down so I don't get a big black border. I have to get some more wax paper. Hang on, more wax paper. Or let me just get another big piece. Yeah, let me just get some, got some 11 by 14 copy paper down here. Let me just grab a couple sheets of that to put behind it. So I'm keeping my desk halfway clean. This is just copy paper here. There we go. There we go. All right, so I'm not zoomed in, but all right, let's see. Take the sticker off. Take the sticker off. Oh, well, yeah, it looked like a scar. I did see the sticker. I said, it looks like he has a scar, but I'll have to work at it, Xandra. I'll have to get it wet. I'll have to get it wet to take it off. I don't want to scrape his little skin. All right, so here we go. All right, let me get some black paint. All this wax paper everywhere. All right. All right. Well, at least get these front and back covers done, and then we'll do our giveaway. All right, that's may or may not be enough paint. We'll see. All right, get my brush. Excess water. Hi, Jane. Anybody else coming in? I can't go back and review everything we've done so far. You'll have to go back because it's just too much just to try to, tell everybody. Every time someone new comes in and show everything again, I just, I can't do that. So just have to go back. And I really don't want to make too big of a mess on the other side just because I don't want paint everywhere. So I'm going to try to kind of hold it steady and just see if I can, my bracelets are rattling, try to, so I don't get it all over the back and make a big mess all over my desk. So what did anybody else do anything fun over the weekend? Hubster, of course, came home yesterday from LA, and I've heard the stories 4 times already, which that's okay. He was excited to tell me all about it. And telling y'all all about it. If y'all missed it, Hubster came in and talked about his trip the last 5 days. He was in LA visiting our other daughter, Annie, and son-in-law, Dan, and grandson. I showed pictures of Logan and, when they went out to the magic house and all that stuff. All right, so that's good there. All right, let's get this sign. Oops, try not to move it too much. I don't mind a little bit on the other side. Like I said, it's going to be painted and painted and papered and covered up anyway. I just don't, while I'm working on it, want the paint to be going everywhere. So I'm trying to kind of keep it steady, and then I'll hit it with the heat gun. Then we'll throw some stars on it. We'll glue down our two ladies, and then we will, oh man, that's flashed out from the black paint. Wow. Let's turn that brightness way down. There we go. I'll have to move it again as soon as I move this black paper. I'll change it again here. All righty. Tina said Dee Dee can't go back, so please. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if I stop every time someone new comes and goes, what are you making? Well, I can't show you the 3 books that were my project in Spo over and over and over again. We would be doing nothing else. So if you come in late, you just have to scroll back. All right. There we go. That's good. Now let me clean off the excess black paint before I put it in the water. All right, this out of the way. Let's hit it with the heat gun. I think I'm going to do gold stars. And of course, after I get everything else done and glued and, detailed and stuff, I can always go back and add more and, other images. These are just the base. This is the base of the book. And as soon as I glue their faces down, we'll do a giveaway. Thanks everybody for being here. Okay, I think that's pretty dry. Now I need another lid here for. No, you know what? I don't need that. I need my gold. Let's see, because I'm going to put it in. Hang on. Get this. My soapstone. Get a pipette. Let's get a pipette and a brush. I might have to. We'll see how watery it is. Let's get a. Hang on, I'm digging around for one of my floppy calligraphy brushes here. Where are you? Come on. I thought I just saw one. I really need a real floppy brush for the gold paint. Well, I think we can maybe use that. Okay. All right, so let's pipette out. That's probably enough. Okay, now I'm going to take this over to my water and squeeze it, clean the pipette out. Okay. Now, I'm going to get my brush wet because it'll be more floppy, I think. All right, let's see what we can do here. for some, let's do some gold stars. But I have to dry this, so that'll take me a minute. So. Okay. And this gold is just, it's a mica gold. It's a Kuretake mica gold. And it's the prettiest gold ink you will ever find in the world. Outside of actual gold. And then even then it may still win. So, yeah. Kuretake mica. Maybe Kat can find a link for it. And it comes in silver too. I have silver and gold. Janet sent me the silver one. But she knew she had it. I couldn't be without it. We have to have the same stuff. All right, so let me go ahead and dry this real quick. It's going to take a minute. I'll read chat if you got any questions. Well, all right. Hi, St. Jim. And anybody else? Miss Carol. Who else am I missing? Give me a couple minutes. I'll read chat while I'm doing this. Karen, hi Karen. Thanks, Kat. She found the link in. Janet's going to watercolor today at 1. Yeah, it's going to take a minute. I might, you know what? I might not go ahead and glue this down right now because this is going to take probably 5 more minutes of drying. But what I will do is this. So this is the front and this is the back. So I'm just going to lay these down here just so you can see. This is the front. This is the back. And there's going to be flowers and bees and other things. But yeah, it's going to take me a while to dry this, and I don't want to take the time for y'all to have to wait and do that. So you can kind of see, you can see the front and the back here. Okay, that'll start it. And again, I'm going to have bees. I'm going to have, I got all kinds of bees to cut out. I've got all kinds of flowers here. We're going to have flowers. We'll have maybe in lieu of planets in the sky, we'll have bees. We'll have little bumblebees in the sky. Instead of Lucy in the sky, the diamonds being the bees. All right, so there's the front and the back. And then, again, all right, I got to move it off the table because it's wet. So let's just move that to the side. I will take a picture. That's a good thumbnail right there. And so then, again, we did one frame here. And then, there's going to be a whole book. It's going to have 16 pages total, some framed out pages, some, again, where's my little sample flowers that I had cut out? We'll have different, layered up flowers, bees flying all over. And so it's going to be very cool. I will re-show the other, well, at least one. I'll show the my Asian journal again before we leave. So again, I'm using, where's my collage suit book? I'm using the flower one too, Flower Power. The big flowers came out of the Flower Power. And then here's the bee's knees. All right, now that we got the black paper gone, let's brighten it back up again. There we go. So the bee's knees collage soup, and the other one is Flower Power. Where is that one? Here we go. Flower Power. So for the flowers is this, and all the bee stuff I've been using is this. Let's see. let's see. Let me put this bowl and this book back up on the shelf, and then we will do a giveaway or two. Oh, and we made a pocket for inside the journal. So and all these pages are either going to be papered or painted, honeycomb stenciled. It's going to have a lot of stuff going on. And then I'll probably edge everything with gold. All the edges will be gold. So, yeah. All right. So, it's going to take a hot minute to do it, just like it did the other ones. The other ones I didn't do in a day either. All right, let's do the giveaway. Then I will show you the book again for our sample. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, so we are going to do a giveaway. We'll do 4, 2 US, 2 international. And we're going to give away, let's put a piece of white paper down here. What do I do with those? Get another. Oh, here we go. Okay. All righty. Thank you. Thanks, Karen. All right. So I'm going to give everybody one of these napkins that Zandra sent us. So everybody I'll get some envelopes here in a minute. So everybody, now remember, when you use napkins and napkin journaling, these have 2 layers on them. You want to peel off the 2 layers or they will not stick well. You got to peel those layers off. And like I said earlier, if you want the vibrancy of the image on the napkin, you need to glue it on white paper, either first or on a white page journal, because you will lose the vibrancy. Here, let me get that sample already peeled to show y'all. So here's one I already peeled both the backs off, right? So if you put it on, let's just say, you had this and you wanted to put these flowers. Well, look at the difference. Here is if you put your napkin on white paper. Okay, here it is on white paper. If you glue it down. If you glue it down on a color paper, see how you lose the vibrancy? So you want to glue your napkins on white, unless you want it to be like that. But if you want the vibrancy of the napkins, you have to glue it on white paper. Okay. All right. Let me just sip of my water here. I'll put together some little giveaway packs. Put together 4 of them for y'all. I think Hubster's going to grill out for us, so I'll have time to eat before I go to Janet's. He'll be doing other things, Janet, so don't say, "Oh, you don't have to." It's fine. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm going to do is each of it. Should I peel the backs off for y'all? No, it's too time consuming. I was going to say I could peel the backs off for you, but we'll just go ahead and let y'all do the work. And remember how I showed y'all how to do it? Take a piece of double-sided tape. I showed y'all how to do it earlier if you missed it. Okay, let's see here. Then I want to give y'all each. I have no. Okay, I wish y'all could see behind me. All right, so this is some of the nice little Japanese papers that Annie got picked out. Hubster bought them for me when he was out in LA in Chinatown. But Annie, I know, picked out everything. So they're nice rice papers. So I won't crease it, but it will probably crease in the end. But I'm going to give y'all each one of those. Okay. Give everybody a little, and it's really nice paper. If y'all ever been to a Japanese or an Asian stationery store. Oh my gosh. All right. Then I think, what's this right here? And then I'll give y'all each a piece of my Bugs Bunny Warner Brothers tissue paper. Okay, so it will get folded up, but look, The Warner Brothers tissue paper, when you go to their gift shop and buy things, is wrapped in this paper. And it shows how to draw Bugs Bunny. And there's different pieces of it. Like they're cut in different spots. But I'm going to give y'all each one of these. So and these do have to get folded up. So half and half. There we go. Give everybody a Bugs Bunny tissue paper here. There we go. Hang on, putting it all together. Putting it together. So y'all get some of the treats that I got from Xandra and Hubster. No, I'm not looking at chat. Wait till I type in go. We'll do US first, then international. And I think I'll put one of my, I've been giving y'all the coloring bookmarks. Let me just get the floral one here. So I'll give everybody one of these floral coloring bookmarks. The first one won't tear out easily. I don't know why. All right, so I'll give everybody one of these too. And that will make a nice little giveaway. I love doing giveaways for you guys because I got a lot of stuff I can share. All right, there we go. All right, so now let's get some Post-it notes on here. These green ones, I like these. Okay. Okay, so two aside here. All right, so we're going to start. Now, y'all pay attention. Pay attention if it's USA or international. And you're going to put, when I type in go, we'll do USA first. USA only. That just gives the international people a better chance at getting something because there's few of y'all. 1 to 100. When I type in go, you just have to be willing to send me your address to mail this to you. I don't share your addresses with anybody. I don't put you on an email list. We don't, and even our mods, we don't share addresses amongst each other. We always get y'all's permission before we use any of, no mailing list. So not that there's anything wrong with mailing lists. All right, USA only, 1 to 100. Wait till I type in go. First 2 people closest without going over. Without going over, we'll each get one of these little envelopes. Okay, let's see here. And I appreciate everybody being here and hanging out. And there you go. USA only. Then we'll do the international one separate. Let me get my iPad here so I can find random.org. Alrighty. So get your numbers in. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle, or lollygag. All right, let's see. Random.org. So we got our random.org. Here's our little number generator there. Okay, I'm going to count down. Get your numbers in. Y'all ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit the enter if you haven't already. Hit the enter. All right, there we go. All right, first 2 people closest to 22 without going over. And if everybody went over 22, I'll pick a new number. 22 without going over. USA. 22. I'm scrolling back. Let's see. Riri had 7. Okay, Keeks has 16, and Shelly Allred has 16. Did anybody else get closer than Keeks and Shelly Allred? Let's see. 22 without going over. I think it's Keeks. Keeks with 16 and Shelly Allred with 16. Am I correct? Yeah. Okay, so Keeks. And I have both of their addresses. Okay. All right. So there y'all go. Keeks and Shelly get a pack. Now we're going to do international. Same rules apply. Wait till I type in go. Wait till I type in go. Same rules apply. New number. We pick a new number. International only. 1 to 100. First 2 people closest without going over. Wait till I type in go. You're welcome, Keeks and Shelly. All right, hang on. International only. First 2 people closest without going over to a new random.org number. International 1 to 100. Thank you, Tina. Okay. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I will. I'll show you the one of the finished journals real quick, and then I'll take a thumbnail and head on out and have lunch with the hubster before Janet comes on at 1. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed seeing how to make one of these. It's just a piece of poster board. You know, a piece of poster board will get you 8 pages, and I use 2, so it's giving me 16 pages in the new one. The other ones are all just 8 pages. So, and you just pick a theme. You know, it can be the Asian, it can be nature, like I'm doing a bee one. It could be Art Nouveau. It could be outer space. Anything. It could be anything. It's just easy to do a theme when you do something like this. All right, here we go. Get your numbers in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit enter if you haven't already. All right, let me get random.org back up. All right, new number 87. First 2 people closest to 87 without going over. 87. International only. 87. Let me scroll back. Let's see. Terry Brett had 80 and Jane had 83. So I think it is Terry Brett and Jane. Y'all double check me. Yeah, Terry Brett and Jane. Terry's in UK and Jane's in Canada. So there we go. International peeps. There you go. All right. So I'll get those out tomorrow in the mail. So now let me just quickly show you one of the journals. This is the Asian one, and I did show it earlier. I'll just do a quick little flip through. This is the same size, except the B one I'm making is going to have 16 pages. This has 8. And it has 4 actual pages, but it has front and back, right? And there's pockets. And this one's all outlined in gold, and I will outline the B one all in gold too. So this is where you can stick your little ephemera, little pockets, little paper clips. Here's some of the little napkins glued to white paper cardstock and then cut out. And so they all have, every the ones I do have frames. These are gold liquid pearls, more napkins there. This is painted gold in the background, see the shine. And then liquid pearl dots and all kinds of napkins and ephemera and little flowers. You can border it, napkins and ephemera. So, and I showed it better earlier. So if you want to see it earlier, here's some foam stamps, more of the flowers, pockets. And this is Stamperia paper. And then here's the back with another Stamperia paper and some different little pockets. These are pour toast. These are pour toast images from his Japanese book. So yeah, so this is the size of the bee journal that we're making. I haven't glued these down yet. And again, I'm going to have all kinds of, I'll have bees and all kinds of stuff all over it. So let's turn down the brightness because the black paper. There we go. So thanks everybody for being here. I think I'll put this up here like this for a thumbnail. That'll be pretty, won't it? Some of the bee things for a thumbnail. Maybe this gold paint there. All right, guys. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this, and we will see you at Janice at 1. And don't forget, I stream every Monday and Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And you'll have a great rest of your day. Thanks, guys. Bye.